We are the Height kids, as we have come to be known. I'm Esther, the youngest, and my brothers Philip and Stephen, and my sister Elisabeth. I am the youngest of all of the grandkids, and I kind of have a bit of a reputation of being the crier as well. So I've been telling everyone all day, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything because I'm just going to cry the entire time. So my brother Philip gave me his words of advice of just go as far as you can, and then that's okay. And it probably won't be very far. All like, that's about it. I just need to get like one line out. That's the introduction. But there really isn't, it's wonderful that I come from a family of united hearts, because everything that Meredith and Greg and me and Dave and my siblings said, I would just say the same thing. And all of us have our memories of Nanna and our things that are special that we hold on to and can't ever be put in words. But we all share the impact of a Nanna that goes on. And I think for me too, I can't imagine, I was thinking about this, the thing I'm going to miss the most, I think, living away in Honduras is not having a Nanna who prays for me every day. And I'm thankful that I have parents and in-laws and other people that pray for me every day, but there's something very special about having a Nanna that you know just loves you in a way that only a Nanna can, and prays for you, and it's very special. And so I think for me, that's going to be the hardest thing. I've got lots of funny stories about packages that have made it or not made it to Honduras and other places in the world as well. But I think that's for me the legacy of Nanna. I just keep thinking, every time I think of her, of a life well lived, and a life that honors Christ. And I said to Dad the other day, through my bawling my eyes out the other night at 1 in the morning, that when someone loves you like that, you feel like you can't ever live up to their love. And it's made me think recently about how God loves us, and we just feel like we can't ever live up to God's love for us. But I guess that's the thing, is that we don't need to live up to God's love for us. And just like I never had to prove anything to Nanna, I don't have to prove anything to God, and there's freedom in that. But it's a beautiful kind of love, and I'm grateful that I come from a family that love continues and into the next generation. But I'm thankful for a church family as well, that we experience that love here. We're just so grateful for you. So I think that's what I'll miss. But I'll let my other siblings talk, and everything that they say is, my heart is in it as well.
Last night we together put some of our thoughts together, so excuse me if I stick close to my notes, that'll help me. So, Nanna was a busy lady, but she always had time to put others first. In our minds, it was almost as though time was frozen when you were with her. In the very early years, she sewed many outfits for Esther and I, where we regularly got called twins. And even better was when she would sew us matching outfits, and then she would sew matching outfits for our dolls. It wasn't long after that Mom went back to work and our Papa passed away that she became our third parent. She was a nanny to us, but even better, she was our Nanna. Those were the busiest days when she selflessly cared for us each day. Many of you know she wore many hats. She was our taxi driver, cook, maid, nanny, seamstress, nurse, and many other things. Soon after Papa died, I had the incredible opportunity to spend each Saturday night sleeping over at Nanna's house. Each week we would create together. She would teach me to knit and to sew, and then carefully put little foam curlers in my hair. I guess she wanted me to have curly hair, I don't know. and set out the orange plaid pull-out couch in her sewing room for me to sleep on. In the mornings, I always had toast with jam on it while she read the daily bread to me. And then I got to pick a verse out of a little plastic bread loaf that reminded me more of a fortune cookie. I treasured each moment that I was there. I fondly remember the laughs we had together, the discoveries we made in the attic, and the wonderful things we made. At the age of 11, we made our first quilt, and boy, was it a beginner's quilt. But she never criticized the mistakes, and the final project was glorious in our eyes. Even though I have continued to make quilts since then, I still treasure that first one we made together. She brought out from inside of me a love to create, and quilting became my work of art. At our house, year after year, she was a vital part of our home. And into her 80s, she was caring for 4 teenagers, each day like they were her own. She always had time for us and all of our friends. As she was busy working at our house, cooking for us and doing laundry, she would get collect calls from us to be picked up after our various after-school activities. And this would happen regularly, like every day and sometimes twice a day. She would always drop what she was doing and be there right there for us to pick us up. When we got home, she always had a custom-made after-school snack ready for us. Licorices and marshmallows shaped into smiley faces, or the famous peanut butter Rice Krispie squares. And as a surprise, we brought a friend home. She always made them one and no less. It wasn't just that Nana had time for her grandkids, but she always had time for all of our friends. She was Nana Hannah to hundreds and loved them all dearly. Our Facebook walls can attest to this. We have received many messages from people that haven't seen her for 15 or 20 years, or maybe even never met her, but they say they will never forget her and her love and care for them. Not only did she love people and have time for you when you were with her, but even when you weren't. At Christmas time, she used to make these wonderful stockings for each of her kids, grandkids, and on a few occasions, a person that just needed a family at Christmas time. Well, these stockings weren't anything special, and actually they were just regular tube socks, all stretched out with pop and candy and tangerines and treats, and of course always a re-gift from last year, or something that we had thrown out but she thought we should have kept. She must have spent hours going from store to store, filling almost 20 pairs of socks, and each one was unique and personal. Last night, as we sat down and reflected on her life, we truly realized why hundreds have called her Nana and their Nana. It's because she had time and love for each and every one of them.
I'd stick to my notes, but I didn't actually make it. I did want to say something about the collect calls, though. We didn't make Nana pay. All we did is we would call and say, "You have a collect call from Nana, come pick us up at school." So, if you work for Bell, I'm really sorry. Kind of worked the system on that one. And, thanks, Nana. I also wanted to say to Mary, she said that family celebrations were kind of loud and chaotic. I personally want to apologize for some of those loud and chaotic times. But, you know, really what I wanted to say, you know, about Nana is that even after we left home and we all kind of went far afield, you know, she still loved you like you were right there. And Dave was talking about some of those packages and letters. She said, what he didn't say about the package I got with the meatballs was, I went to the customs guy, and it was a bit of a place of ill repute, I would say. And he wouldn't give me the package. I had no idea why. So I actually had to bribe him to get it. And when he brought it out, the entire package was covered in fire ants. Who had actually gotten a hold of the meatballs inside. So I had to. I didn't know if you could refuse a package, but I'd already paid this money, and it came from Nana, so I felt like like I probably should. So I put it in my car and took it. The meatballs, they couldn't be saved, unfortunately. But that was Nana. She knew I liked Swedish meatballs. She probably baked 100 of those bad boys and threw it. I partly blame Court too, because he was her shipping director, right? It wasn't like he had a choice. I mean, he would have said, this goes here, this goes there. Well, listen, no Court, no, he dutifully would have, put the stamps on there and sent the package out. So she had some help, but so we took them. But and I know for some of you, you got these random packages. I got one not too long ago that was a Christmas present that Elisabeth had given Nana. It was a Blue Jays notepad, and she wrote me a little letter on the first one. But Cork had to ship the whole notepad out to me, so thanks for that, Cork. I appreciate that. But the other really cool thing about, even though you're far away, that was really big about Nana is that she never gave up on you. She never stopped loving you. I remember looking at, she had this little address book crammed with, it was like bursting it seems with all these addresses. And I remember not too long ago looking at my entry, and it was like 20 different entries of where I lived, like all X'd out as I had moved here, there, and everywhere, and Nana had no idea. But she would continue to go way out of her way to show God's love to everybody. And that was, that was a big legacy that Nana left for me, to try and always make the effort, show God, make some kind of an impact, even if it's a small one, even if it's a 2-minute conversation. Just take the time, share God's love, share in her life, the salvation that she had in Jesus Christ was her everything, and she was the first one to share that with everyone she came in contact with. And that's something that I've tried to carry on, that she loved God and that she loved people, and that she wanted to share that. And so I hope for those of you here that you would take that as an encouragement in your lives to be bold, to not shy away, to not love on people, to not just be a witness wherever you are. So thank you.